welcome. My name is Katie. I'm a wife, I'm a mom, I work full-time, and I love makeup and skincare. Today what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you this fabulous gold, burgundy, orange eyeshadow look. So let's get started. Okay, I've decided I'm calling this my Sunset Eyeshadow look. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to dust this color Alive all over my lid. I will tell you, I love this because when I first got it, I thought it was going to be a pretty bright, like intense gold, but it's not. You all can see as I'm pressing this all over my lid, I just love this color. And I think it is really great if you have an event you're going to, or if you are wanting to pick out some fall eyeshadow colors. This is a great option. So again, just putting that pigment onto the side of my Deluxe brush and pressing it all over my lid. Now I will tell you, if you want that pigment to pop even more, make sure that you use an eye primer, and I'll show you a video over here so you can see what that looks like. When you use that eye primer, you all, a little bit of pigment goes such a long way. You can see I've covered my entire eyelid and I've only tapped into the pan a couple of times, right? So if you really want those pigments to pop and to stay in place all day long, make sure that you're using an eye primer. If you want those pigments to be a little bit more vibrant, another thing that you can do is you can apply them with your Deluxe brush, or excuse me, your cream shadow brush, or you can even spray it with a little bit of rose water and then apply it with your cream shadow brush. Holy guacamole, it's just like whew, all of the metallic shimmer all the way, but isn't that super pretty? Okay, so let's move on to the next step. Next, what I'm going to do is I'm going to dust this color Alive. I'm going to put it onto the end of my fluffy crease brush, and I'm going to dust this right above the crease. So let me get my handy dandy handheld mirror out, and I'm just going to kind of dust that up along here. Just using a windshield wiper motion back and forth, setting it on top of that Alive. Okay, just like that. Get a little bit more onto the end of my brush and go in on the other side. This is definitely a Halloween orange, you all. But it is, it's a very pretty pigment, and when you lay it on top of that Alive, look at that. Isn't that pretty? Okay, so this side is a little bit darker than this side, so let's go in a little bit more. I may have been just a little heavier handed, which is totally fine. It's easier to start out light and then add on that color. Okay, there we go. Much better. And then what I always do is I just take my blending brush and kind of blend out to make sure I don't have any harsh lines. Look at that. Fabulous. Okay, so next I'm going to go into this color Fervent again with my fluffy crease brush, tapping off the excess, and for this one I'm going to focus it in the outer corner and right above the crease. So you can see I'm just kind of pressing it right there and then pulling it up. And then what I try to do is I try to make sure that I pull it above my pupil. Sometimes I don't pull it over far enough. So let me just pull that there. And then the other thing I like to do is make sure that when my eyes open, you can still see that pigment. Okay, so just again going in on the other side now and doing the same thing. And again, it's so much easier to start out with a little bit of pigment, and then if you need more, you can go back in and add some more. Then what I do, take that handy dandy blending brush and blend that out. I'm going to actually go back in with my Deluxe brush and putting a little bit more of that Alive onto the side of it and just pressing that on to the lid, just to make sure I didn't lose any of that as I went in with some of those darker colors. It also gives you a chance to kind of clean things up a little bit. Okay, make sure everything looks even. This side looks a little bit darker, no worries. Again, just putting a little bit of pigment onto the brush. And then that way you can just build it and even everything out. There we go, much better. Last but definitely not least, I'm going to wipe off my Deluxe brush. I just always keep a towel around. I normally keep it on my lap so that way I can kind of clean things up. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this color here, Optimistic. You all know this is one of my favorite pigments. I'm going to take that right along my brow bone there. And this gives you an eye lift. I did this the other night live, and you can see this eyebrow now literally looks higher up than that one just because I put a little bit of that pigment right there, okay? And then I also like to put it right in the inner corner here. That just helps to brighten up the eye. So do you see that difference there? This now I look so much more awake and fabulous. This side I'm kind of like, me. So again, just putting a little bit of that Optimistic right there in that inner corner makes the biggest difference. Now what I'll do is I'll top it off with my mascara. I like to use my Lash primer first. The Lash primer is great for conditioning your lashes and really separating them. It also goes on white so that way you can see every single one of those itty bitty lashes. Now the verdict is still out whether or not you put on your mascara whenever the Lash primer dries or is still wet. I'd say check out both ways, see which one works best for you. I like to do it when it's still wet. And this is my Moodstruck Epic Mascara. This is the one without the fibers. And it curls, lengthens, and volumizes my lashes. Okay, there you have it. This is the final look. I absolutely love it. If you have any questions about my Sunset Eyeshadow look, please don't hesitate to ask. If you like these types of videos where I do an in-depth tutorial, give me a thumbs up, let me know in the comments below. Be sure to subscribe to my channel and ring the bell so that way anytime I post a new video, you are notified. Have a great day.